In this video, I'm going to be talking about rapid change and what it takes to make anxiety, panic attacks go away quickly and permanently. Hi, I'm Wahida Finley. This is part 9 of our 10-part series. So, you've probably had anxiety for a long time. You've had lots of therapy for lots and lots of months, and you don't believe that it's possible to get rid of it in just a few weeks. Why is that? And how is it? What am I going to do? Is it hypnosis? Now, does hypnosis create rapid change? No, not really. Sometimes anyone can hypnotize you. So hypnotherapy is not regulated in the UK. So it's up to us to get really good exams and qualifications and training. I've been a hypnotherapist for 12 years now, and I spent many, many years training, doing lots of courses, diplomas, all of that, and working with hundreds of clients every single year. So the more we do, the better we get. But what if someone did a weekend course in hypnotherapy? They can call themselves a hypnotherapist, and they don't understand the brain, they don't understand anxiety, and then they charge you 50, 60 pounds, and you think you're getting hypnotherapy. So that isn't it. Anyone can hypnotize you, but it's what they do when you're in hypnosis and the therapy techniques they use in hypnosis that makes rapid change or not rapid change. So there's a method called suggestion therapy, which we use in hypnotherapy, but basically we hypnotize you, get your brain into a relaxed state, and then we can say, you are calm. When you feel anxious, you will now breathe slowly, or something like that. So they say these things. That is not going to create rapid change. It'll calm you down just temporarily, and it could take months and months of that sort of suggestion therapy. People do go to that sort of suggestion therapy where they just lie down quietly and get told nice things. I don't do that. The type of therapy I do is interactive. You're going to speak back. You can do it standing up. I do not expect people with anxiety and panic attacks to come here and relax. It's not relaxing. It's not like going to a spa. It's not a treat. We're getting rid of trauma. We're getting rid of scary things. It is nice. It's not frightening what we do, but it's not going to be relaxing at all. It's just, we're going to shut the fear response in your brain using brain techniques. Yeah, so some of it's in hypnosis where you are talking back to me. We get your brain to a depth, and I'll be asking questions and you'll be giving me answers. So you're not asleep in a coma type of state. You are not wide awake. So you're not fast asleep in a coma. You can itch your nose, you can cry, you can get up if you want to get up. That's not how it is. The therapy is happening. You're talking back to me. We're giving responsive answers. You don't have to be relaxed, because people with anxiety can't relax. Their thoughts are going all over the place. I do give a hypnosis recording to practice at home as a confidence and self-esteem recording. That is available on my website. You can buy that as well. But basically, I use that to help calm the mind down. They can do that at home and practice lots and lots of times. It's only 23 minutes long. And people use that to shut down the chit-chat in their brain, the monkey mind. It helps them to sleep at night. It helps them to have focused attention. All I need to get really fast results is focused attention. So if you're thinking about your dinner and trying to analyze, is this working? Is it not working? Am I doing it right? We just need to let that go. If we can let that go and you focus on what I say, then we get really, really good results. Okay. If I say, let's imagine walking down 10 steps and you're going to go deeper and deeper, I need you to be able to imagine 10 steps, or focus at least going down, or even count. It doesn't matter. If you can count to 10, then we're going to get really, really good results. That's how I get people into the depth that I need. And then we're going to address the real thing that's causing anxiety and panic and fear, the illness, the sickness, or relationship breakup, or whatever it is. And I'm going to address that, let the brain know that everything's okay, you're not dead, or whatever it is that's happened. And it goes away. So That's one of the techniques, but it takes layers. It takes multiple goes in different ways in reducing anxiety and panic in your brain at a different level. So I'm going to use other techniques which we use for trauma, which is highly effective for trauma, like EMDR. I use an advanced version of EMDR. My trainer that taught me said it was like EMDR on steroids. So when we do an EMDR training, typically it takes about 3 days to learn it properly and the different stages. But then it's like, oh, do it this way, it'll be really fast. So I've adapted the way that I do any sort of eye movement now over the years. It's completely different to the way that I got taught. It's just changed and adapted according to the results that I get with my clients. I don't have to do EMDR for 6-7 weeks. I could do it really, really fast. So I use that on a lot of my clients on various stages of my 4-week program, and that creates rapid change. There are other techniques that I use as well. So basically we're accessing both parts of the brain. Once I've literally cleared all of the fear down to zero, we're left with belief. So we need to put positive beliefs in and confidence, and that I believe I can go and do these things. I am happy. So you don't feel depressed or sad or frightened anymore. But I don't work on the positive parts of it until I've cleared all the negatives out and I've cleared all the fear out. And then we're able to work on the positive aspects and rewire your brain with new positive beliefs. So you can go off in the world and go to those meetings, apply for jobs, go on the train, whatever it is that your goal was. So the way that people work to create rapid change, it is rapid because it's measurable. I like all my therapy to be measurable. I'm not going to just chit chat for weeks and hope for the best and hope it goes away on its own. Let's see. And if you realize any change, people come to me with a massive list of all the things, all the physical symptoms that are wrong, all the negative emotions that they feel that are holding them back. And they have traumas that have happened, and they put them all in bullet point. I don't need to know lots of detail, just bullet them, point them down. And then we're going to have another list, which is positive objectives of therapy, because I want to measure if you are better or not. How are we going to know if you're 100% better or if you're not? And if you just say, I want to be happy and relaxed, I can't measure it and it's not measurable. So I like to measure because I want proof. I want everyone to walk away with 100% cleared of whatever they came with. And I want to know, yes, you have it. No, you don't. So it's really clear cut. And I'm literally going to work through those really fast as we go through them over the few weeks. And then at the end of the 4 weeks, everything should be gone. All the negative feelings, all the physical feelings, all the panic attacks. Panic attacks have stopped completely, can sleep better at night, happier, brighter, everything that you want. In the positive objectives, I like you to measure what will you be able to do if you are 100% better. So it's stuff like, oh, you want to be able to go to the shops. You want to be able to drive down the motorway. What else would you like to be able to do? You want to go to meetings and be able to talk aloud. You want to do your exams, whatever it is that you need. I want to go to a concert. I want to go to a football match. I want to go to the park. I want to go to meals with friends without having anxiety. So these are the goals that you set. You want to go on a plane, you want to go on the train, things that you are unable to do. And these are on your goals list. And that's what I'm working to. And then that's how we're going to get rid of it. And then this is how we're going to check at the end. So not all the therapy is done quickly in 4 weeks. 3 of them are done. And then we leave a gap of however long you need to test all the positive objectives as well, because we want it to be permanent. And then you come back. So really everyone's seen me 4 times. And if you ever look on my website or look at any of the testimonials, they are filmed the 3rd time they saw me, and some of them are filmed the 4th time. So everyone has done the 4-week anxiety program, but they're filmed at different stages because some of them are better after the 3rd time and they just want to come back and tell me. There are a few people that need 6 weeks of therapy. They need a little bit more. They've got OCD, or they've got some sort of addiction, or they're suicidal, or something's going on, or repetitive thought loops that just don't want to go. They may need 6 weeks of therapy. So I will decide that and help to decide that on the assessment. On my notes, on my website. So I am only seeing adults. I see 16 plus, so late teens to adults is all that I see, because we need to be able to work in this way, and we need to look at the different methods that I use. They have to be able to give me scores out of 10 as we knock the anxiety right down to 0. And sometimes children aren't able to do that. So I prefer to work with adults and late teens, because we're able to discuss properly and get exact feelings and feedback as we go along, because I do analyze, get the feedback, so I can reduce your anxiety completely to 0. I need to make sure it's gone. I don't want people to please me or say yes, it's gone, when it hasn't. I want to know the truth. I want to know if it's an 8 level fear, now it's a 7, now it's a 5. You know, if you pretend it's 0 straight away, we're not going to get any good results. I want you to tell me the truth, and I want to make it go away, and then you're better. So I have really, really good results. There are a few people that don't get good results. So they're the ones that don't want to comply. They don't want to be there. Someone's forced them to come and see me, or they don't want to do the homework. They don't want to listen to the recording. And if they don't, that means they're unable to calm their mind down. They're not able to focus. When I want them to do things, their brain's all over the place because they haven't practiced the recording at home. So it's really, really important. It's not just therapy at home with me to make it a rapid therapy. It's the stuff that I get them to do at home. It's not very much to do. It's 23 minutes of your life every day, just for a little while we're working together. It's not permanent. You don't have to keep listening to these things forever, but the results are permanent. All their anxiety, all their panic attacks are gone, even if they've had them for years and years and years, even if they've had months and months and years of therapy. I always ask in my videos, you'll see in some of the case studies that I give, what sort of therapy have they had? And some of them have been to top psychologists, some of them have been to hypnotherapists, some of them have done CBT and counseling. So they've all had therapy. And that may be something you're thinking about, saying, well, I've had all this therapy, why didn't it work? And that's because they were focusing on symptoms and they weren't dealing with the proper cause of it. And that's why you're not better. You haven't made an informed decision, and you spent your hard-earned money on the wrong type of therapy that isn't going to make you better. So whether it's working with me or someone else, you really need to deal with the spike of the fear that's happening in the brain in order to make it go away. So I've got lots of proof of that. So you can see all the videos. I make sure I do have proof. I don't just say it. I have lots of case studies, loads of complex cases that I've worked on, and I've detailed them in lots of videos so you can understand it even more. Okay, so I hope that helps you understand what rapid change is. So a bit of hypnosis. We're not doing relaxation. I use both sides of the brain. I use things like EMDR, which is eye movement, desensitizing, reprocessing. It's ways of accessing parts of the brain that are holding on to traumas and fears. I use bilateral brain stimulation. There's loads of different things where we spike the fears. It develops something called protein synthesis in the brain, and we're able to, when we get that spike in the fear, we're able to reduce it really, really fast using other methods as well. I do use a bit of NLP, but I tend to use NLP for other things like business presentations and things like that. I don't tend to use it for anxiety. So I do something called kinetic shift, kinesiology. There's loads and loads of things that I do, and ways of checking. So I use these methods to check, not necessarily to remove it. So some of the methods are for removing, like the parts that access the brain, and then the other parts are to check whether it's 100% gone. So I know, can you go on a plane? Yes or no? Because there isn't a plane here for me to identify, but your brain will know, and I can check that before you go off in the world, because I want to know before you get on the plane that you can get on the plane, and I want to be confident that the therapy that I've done has worked. So I've had really, really high success rate. As I said, I've been doing it 12 years. I know what I'm talking about. I am an expert in anxiety and panic attacks. So if you'd like to get to know me a bit more, you can phone for a chat, or there is another part to this. So part 10 is, if you would like to be free of anxiety fast, what are your options? And what can you do about it if you can't relax? So that's one of the myths. So we're going to be talking about the myths about relaxation in the next one, and how can you get better. See you next time.